Welcome to Copp's Hill Burying Ground, here in the North End on a beautiful day in Boston, MA. Yes, Copp's Hill, where it is said there are over 10,000 bodies buried here. No one knows for sure. However, we can see all the stones in their nice, even rows.
Copp's Hill, it's an important site. It's from 1659, and the headstones just looked bad. You know, there were a lot of broken ones.
I think we ended up treating about between 300 and 400 of the markers, and we reset pretty much all of them. The initial part of the plan was that the project design team went through and sort of identified the markers that were sort of in the most need of repair.
There are just a lot of broken stones, and when there's pieces on the ground, it becomes more and more likely that they'll be picked up, that they'll be stepped on, or that the grass will grow over them and they'll be lost.
I'm like a caretaker, so like the things that come into here, I'm not changing. I'm just trying to make sure that whoever made these things, their vision is being upheld by the things that we do. This is actually a slate marker from Westerly Burying Ground. You can really sort of read everything. You can see all the inscriptions, you can see the picture in here. Here is sort of maybe a sculpt line where it broke. It also looks like it was an impact too. It could have been hit by something. And this is where water gets in and it causes everything to break off. So we would do fills up on top of here to keep water from coming in through there. It's very rewarding to see people experiencing the objects the way they should be experienced, even if they don't know that we did anything to them. I'm always happy with that.
When you think about the original landmass of Boston, from any time since like the English arrived in 1630, if you died, you were buried there. So basically for 200 years, anyone that died in Boston was buried there.
Here, very well preserved, good thing too, is the headstone denoting the location of the man known as Robert Newman. And Robert Newman, of course, is most famous for him having hung the signal lanterns in Old North Church on April 18th of 1775. But now moving on from Robert Newman to a man named Prince Hall. Prince Hall, of course, is most known for his starting the first Black Masonic Lodge in America. And it's a very similar, sad old story. The Masons would not allow Prince Hall to join their lodge. And so Prince Hall, in the best American tradition, said, "I shall start my own lodge."
The Prince Hall Masons, they still exist. They pay tribute to him every year, which is actually quite moving that these people still remember this man.
We see how people lived, how they died. And, you know, one thing we sort of talked about is sort of their views about death. There's sort of a very Puritan, you die, we put this up, and then we move on kind of thing. And then obviously as time goes on, the way that society viewed death sort of changed in some capacity.
You have the death's head, the winged angel of death, the skull representing death, the wings of the angels. But later on, you see the urn and the weeping willow.
During the early Republic period, they were enamored with those kind of ideals, so that they were attracted by these classical symbols. To me, that seems really logical.
During the Battle of Bunker Hill, the British occupied this hill using the big cannon to shell the town of Charlestown across the river and set it afire. Using my gravestone as a vantage point, they used it for target practice. What you see here are the 4 bullet holes left by British soldiers during the Battle of Bunker Hill. They couldn't catch me in life, so what did they do? They shot at my grave in death. And that is my story, that is my stone, and this is my hat.